Some Wars Merge linkin kuvauksessa. Vittu tätä saatanan peliä. Ei voi vittu olla totta. Vittu ihan kun pelas Pleikka 4, holy shit. Whatever the hell that means. I want this fucking shit to be done for.
Smell the breath. What? Why are you here?
I too escaped the cell in which clearly he, of course, soon and let us not your vengeance.
So there is to be.
You have heard of the
Surtur's blade, destined to cut the sky and signal Ragnarok. I stuffed it down his gullet.
As I came here, a great beam of light rose from that lone tower, tore the sky asunder. Your doing, I assume? It is you who ignites Ragnarok.
Poggers!
So it begins. By my own hand.
Minähän sanoin.
Hurricane. A favor, please.
No.
Have I not already done you one?
Not for me.
Eli se on vaan, että se on yksi favor and then never again.
That tower you spoke of. Within you will find an elven marvel lying amid the ashes. Take it.
Why?
It offers a way to deliver the one you have lost, yet seek to save. But first it must be emptied of those lost souls within.
I already have a plan to rescue my love.
There's always a better one. Now go.
Okei,
What is this trick? You don't care about her lost love.
I care about Balder.
No one cares about anything about this fucking DLC shit.
Unintentionally, he may yet make it to the other side of Ragnarok. Ragnarok comes, yet I will abide, though not as I am, and not in this body.
Eivos body?
I will not forget this life. Not one breath. I will always remember when Odin, son of Bor, father of Thor, was me.
Tää? Are you not
Well played, Loki.
Odin? What?
We shall have our fight. Soon enough.
Probably never.
No, we are their dearest allies. They won't.
Onks jotain vielä vittu, mitä mä oon missannut tai jotain? Ai saatanan.
Did anyone follow you?
No, I teleported here.
You are always welcome. You're back!
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So many starving dwarves produce so
What do
much
you
shit.
want?
Biologia ei pysähdy, vaikka olisi nälkä. How many do I have? Not enough. Let's leave.
Let's talk again.
Macarena.
An ass here? Here?
Huh?
You shouldn't be here.
Shut up, bitch.
So many starving dwarves produce so much shit.
Koppiin puttaa sitä kitaraa.
Why are you here?
I guess there's nothing else to do, so let's go fucking here. Musta tuntuu, että mun pitää kiivetä tuo paska. There we go. Ja tuossa olisi noita paneja.
Go!
Sano, että sä lennät tätä ylös. Vitun jees, vitun jees, vitun jees. Where the fuck are you taking me? Here we go.
Hi, Juan. Over.
Oh.
It's Kara, isn't it?
Kara.
So you do remember.
Why wouldn't I remember my own Valkyries?
Oho.
It has been many ages since Odin, son of Bor, father of Thor, took his duties seriously. Instead, he frets.
Se fakta, että joku vittu never heard motherfucker on tärkeämpi tolle kuin vitun Thor. Mitä vittu mies?
Mind your words, girl.
Mind your own.
Whatever you say, my
Boy.
lord and master.
Now, let's
Just tämän takia mä vihaan tuota, kun on silleen, joku on silleen, minä sanon jotain, mistä sinä tykkää. Katso, miten sä puhut mulle vittu. Vittu ihan oikeesti.
Unlike real heroes, they flaunt their wounds on their backsides, not their chests.
What use will there be to me when Ragnarok finally comes?
You have nothing to fear. I will make them ready for that final battle.
Perhaps I can help.
How?
Why, let my own battle prowess serve to inspire them.
You intend to tell them your old war stories? Ha! Not even we Valkyries believe in those fantasies anymore.
Then draw up an arena, so that I, Harvey, Lord of Asgard, patron to all true heroes, may reenact my finest moments. Just the way they happened.
This should be fun, if nothing else. So be it, Lofty One, your arena awaits.
Let me see.
Let me see.
Ah, the battle glory that has seen.
No, tää on samanlainen kuin toi vitun. What is this? Onks tää laitti? Predator? Mikä se on? Just hiukset. No. Mitä?
Let me see.
You can't afford it anyhow.
What the fuck? I'm broke.
Let me tell.
Let's see what embellish.
Karaspik.
I am
Let's
looking
see.
forward to this. Let us hear your tale of glory.
Here is the story of how I bested all three of Sinmara's champions.
Wow.
Your skill in battle is impressive, Taiwan.
Ai niin, mä tuun vittu pilveen, koska mulla on se automaatti hiilinki.
Next, fate steered me into the path of a mighty Muspel, and battle was joined. As I traveled on, I met a towering giant of flame and stone.
That must have hurt. So
Once again, I had shown my prowess, and proved that none can defeat me.
the Skalds will sing this story through the ages.
Ainut pitää kerää.
Over here.
Let me...
Lemis. 150, mitä tämmönen maksaa.
any
Ihan
warriors outside.
saatanasti. Sä oot vilkkö.
Let me...
Let's see what.
Ton mä teen jo. No katos vaan puuttuu enää 2. Keep kinda interested.
I am looking forward to this. Show me the blood, the chaos, the screams.
Listen now to the tale of my first meeting with the Lord of Muspelheim.
You feign ineptitude, lower their guard. Cunning.
As I made my way onward, I saw Muspels lurking ahead of me. I attacked in a battle fury. Soon enough, I chanced upon a fearsome Muspel, glowing with inner fire.
Hunt well.
Suurtuuri, mitä äijää?
Your skill in battle is impressive, I want. They are no match for you, Drake.
A glorious battle indeed, I think you'll agree.
Well done, Hobby. Stirring tale.
Expert storytelling. Joo. Järjestetään 20, nice.
I won. Over here.
Nyt en ole enää niin
Let me
köyhä.
see what...
Voin ostaa itselleni asioita.
A legendary choice. You have earned it.
Yes, I have. Anyway. Tää sai olla nyt tämän osalta tässä. Se vitussa niitä voi vaihtaa.
you to...
I would like to...
Jeez. Tää on aika siisti. Voitko nyt kääntyä vittu? That's fucking horrible, holy shit. Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ. Mikä vittu mulla oli ennen tätä?
Anything else?
Another time, perhaps.
Se on tehty. Sitten on tää. I'm not gonna stream that. Onks ne näitä? Probably. Heroics. Jäljelle jäi vaan se Eivorin juttu. Ja niitä tässä... Se varmaan tässä on vaan yksi osa. Yksi oli se, joka tuli aikaisemmin.
The wolf is coming, brothers and sisters.
Oh.
It finds us all in the end, no matter how we hide. In its jaws is an end, or a beginning. And we will never know which till the last black bite. Should we lay down for it then? Bare our throats to its teeth?
Vittu mä
Or
tässä teen.
fight with every sinew in our bodies to hold it away, knowing always that our strength must fail, and the wolf will take us. I know only this. Each day is a gift from the dead to the living. Each smile brought by another's tears. And when the wolf runs free,
Meows.
all we will have are those we fought to keep. So I will keep you, my people. I will fight the wolf for every inch of this land. Till the hour he claims me, I will buy you your days of love and laughter.
Live, love, laugh, vittu.
These new visions of
In
hope
these
and joy.
conditions.
Am I alone in seeing them?
Into the
The tales of
fire.
Svartafam hold some other meaning. Perhaps I should warm my bones by the fire. Gather my thoughts for a moment.
Perhaps.
May I
Anything else I can...
I'll see.
A good day to you.
Mitä tää näyttää, kun tässä on huppu päällä? Now, what are we gonna see here? The mason who such. Yes. Aha.
Tove,
Tove.
how have you been?
The fire made me think of the myths and legends Sven loved.
Would you indulge me with a tale? I would be glad to hear of Svartafam.
I would not tell it half as well, but his favorite was a fable, to remind us to find meaning in our deeds and not in how others think of us. Svartalfheim was not short of legendary dwarven blacksmiths. Everyone has heard of Ivaldi, of Brucker and Sindri. But this tale is of a stonemason. He lived as far south as he could, where Gulnamar meets Vangrid. His workshop sat upon the shoreline.
Kiva, kun mun hevonenkin on tossa.
Obsessed with glory, his love of masonry had all but died. He scoured the shore, seeking precious stones washed up from other realms. Then he saw it. Something beautiful, glittering, shimmering across the water, upon an island he had never dared travel to. He hastily built a boat, working long into the night. He set sail and found many rocks that sparkled and dazzled upon the island. He cried out in joy. To craft anything from such stones, he would be remembered for all time. Then he felt a sudden sting on his foot. Then another, and another. His eyes adjusted to the dark. So consumed was he by his desire for renown, he failed to realize he had walked into a nest of snakes, until it was already too late.
Damn, son.
And so, clutching the stone that sealed his fate, there he died. Remembered, yes, but only for his folly.
A fine tale, Tove, and well told. Sven would be proud.
Sven. Next. The king and his legacy. Tim!
Are you and Richard well?
Of course. The flames soothe my mind, as do the tales told here.
Do you have one to share, Gunnar? A legend of Svartalfheim.
Aye, a story of a king who could not see the wood for the trees. Reidmar, greatest of dwarven kings. Within his palace in Gulnamar, he wanted for nothing except an heir. Reidmar and his wife had grown old. Perhaps too old.
Damn.
Late one night, consumed with worry, Reidmar walked in the shadow of his vast mountain-top palace, tears in his eyes. "A great king! What ails you?" a voice said. Afraid, Reidmar saw no one. "Who goes there?" he replied. Then he saw who addressed him. A vast and ancient tree, perhaps almost as old as Ymir himself. Reidmar sat upon its roots and told the tree he feared he was too old to give his subjects the legacy they deserved. The tree was so moved, it wept and offered its tears to Reidmar. "Drink, great king," it said, "and your woes shall be washed away." Reidmar observed the grass, the meadows, the leaves of the tree. His subjects' happiness could be seen in how they cared for the land. His legacy was all around him.
Ei lisääntyi kuin pupu.
Reidmar felt at ease, realizing he had everything he needed, and asked that the land receive the tree's gift instead. The tree's happy tears flowed evermore, enriching the land. 9 moons passed, and a baby's cry rang through Reidmar's palace. Long would dwarves place gifts in the weeping tree's roots, in memory of Reidmar and his kindness that shaped all he touched.
All things happen when they should, old friend.
I hope so.
So do I, Gunnar, so do I. The consequences of Thor's folly.
Eivor! What
Oli
is the
Aladdin.
matter? Have you been spending too much time drinking Valga's special
Piti sanoa
sauces again?
Alavin, mutta...
I am troubled by visions of Odin and of Svartafam. They flood my mind without warning, without invitation.
Aha! Which is how Thor flooded Svartafam. Thor, fast to act, but not so fast to think, would stomp and thump and fight and bump everywhere he and Mjolnir should go. One day, he fought a giant in Jotunheim with such ferocity that Thor's killing blow was felt through all 9 realms. The ground shook, mountains rose up, hills tore apart, creating canyons, and north of Svaladal, the massive lake that housed the springs of Yggdrasil split open, flooding all of Svartalfheim. The dwarf king, Hreidmar, acted swiftly. He built 3 mighty dams, preventing further damage to his realm, working alongside his beloved subjects. So surprised was one builder to see the great king working as an equal that he slipped, tumbling into the raging waters below. Without hesitation, Hreidmar leapt, once from his horse and again from the center of the dam's lip, diving into the frightful torrent. Before the builder could even cry for help, Hreidmar was pulling him onto dry land. And so 2 giant statues were built to honor the king, one for each leap of unthinking bravery, and stood until the end of days.
Until Ragnarok.
Aye! So you see, actions ripple outward, like a stone falling into a lake. Or like Thor crushing a Jotun skull with Mjolnir.
Affecting everything, whether foretold or unknown.
I fear my tale has only worsened your concerns.
No, a good story is a log that feeds a mind's flame. Thank you, friend.
The miner and his calling.
I hear you seek tales
No!
of Svartalfheim. You are not alone in your glimpses of the Aesir.
You have seen them too.
No. Only the power the visions hold, and their effect on those once held dear.
You speak of Sigurd.
Do you want my tale or not?
Mitä vittua?
There was a dwarven miner who cared only for his work. Mining was all he knew, all he wanted to know, and all he would ever know. One day, he heard a strange noise. All his long life, working in the northern mines of Vangrim, he had never known a boulder to squeak. He ignored it at first, but as the hours passed, the squeaking continued, relentlessly. When the miner could take no more, he split the boulder apart with his pick, and then he saw a squirrel. Until now, pinned by the boulder, afraid and tired, the freed squirrel climbed into the miner's long beard and slept for 3 days. When the dwarf awoke the next day, he found fruit and nuts waiting for him. A gift from the squirrel, the first the miner had ever received. Finally, the miner had a friend. The squirrel led the dwarf to a stone hill within a lake. There, the dwarf would fish for supper, while the squirrel played in the trees. One night, watching his fishing line, the dwarf drifted off to sleep, smiling, enjoying the happy squeaks of his friend above. When the sun rose, its light did not find the dwarf, for he had turned to stone, his short-lived bliss captured evermore.
And the squirrel?
It never left his side, hoping his friend would awaken, just as the miner had waited for the squirrel to do the same.
It's so sad.
He's not lost to us.
Sigurd voi syödä paskaa.
In every great story there is truth to be found. I wonder what could be found in Svartafam in the place they spoke of.
Do I need to go there now? Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. No, tässä kun kerran ollaan, niin might as well.
Including armor sets that change when you upgrade them to the new rarity. We got an awesome new mount, some secrets including very special Hooger upgrades that are treasure to find, and way more. And by just playing through the main story missions, you will actually miss quite a lot. So I want to do a rundown of everything you need to know, how to get each item, and of course talk about some other things as well. So if you like the Valhalla content here on the channel, leaving a like on the video would really help me out. And let's go.
Do the same for this shit.
Sponsor of this video, Surfshark. We're going to each end. Gotta be fast to claim it. I want to thank Surfshark for sponsoring the video, and now let's get back into it. Let's start with the mechanical raven skin you get after going to each end build in Svartafam and watching the mythical memory cutscene. There are 60 total, and after interacting with the final one, you get the mechanical raven in your inventory and can then apply it at a stable also in Svartafam. I think it looks pretty cool with a similar look compared to the mythical boars we can of course also find in Svartafam. I do wish though that the raven power would change to the birds we currently have equipped. I hope that's maybe something they will add later, so we have more variety when using this power, because the power of the raven really meant that I never used the regular bird in this DLC. And I will, by the way, leave a link to all the locations for these anvils in the video description. And by the way, that power of the raven is needed to reach the 9 big monoliths you maybe already spotted in Svartafam. Yes, you can go there, and it's totally worth it, because here you can find special embers of Muspelheim. After getting your first one and returning to the blacksmith, you namely unlock brand new upgrades for the Hooger rib that are insanely impactful. The big one is totally being able to unlock a third power slot, so you can store 3 of the 5 powers at once instead of only 2. Other upgrades include one where you get more Hooger from killing enemies and 50% more from the Hooger blooms, although the next one is even better. This lets you fully replenish your Hooger by sacrificing a large portion of health. Like, I think that this is totally the best one, especially because it is basically the shrine effect without having to go to a shrine, and yeah, you can easily replenish your health with some food. And we also got a Slipstream activating any power within the final 5 seconds of the currently active power grants 15 seconds of bonus duration to the newly activated power. You can only have one of them active at a time, so again, I would go for the third power or the replenish your Hooger by sacrificing health. They also increase in price, so make sure that you pick the right order, but if you find all 9 embers, you can unlock all these upgrades. You actually have to get one for a mystery over here on the map. Talk to the dwarf, then use the power of the raven to get to the monolith close by. Always nice to put a marker on the wealth icon of these monoliths so you can very easily reach it. And upgrading the duration of the raven power is totally needed, otherwise it will be very hard to reach these things in the sky. Make sure that you land as well, and you will always find some mooseples to fight as well. Shoot them off, very satisfying, and then loot the ember. You do not always have to get to the top, by the way, just mark again and they will see how high you have to fly to be able to get these amazing upgrades. Now, in my previous video about the best items in this DLC, and I will, by the way, revert to this video a couple of times in this one. Either way, I already mentioned there the amazing perk on the new Odin Allfather set you get by doing the arena, and it's totally a grind. I argue that it's already worth it to get 2 items for the perk. The final perk is not really that great, and try to do the 1 skull challenges that will make the grind go a bit faster. It's easier to get the gear pieces from the Dwarven Blacksmith set. Maybe you already found some in the Svaladol region with the breeches, helmet and the chest armor in Van Green, and you can easily see that in the description of the armor. So just go after the wealth icons to get this very cool looking set. I love the enormous shoulder and the waist, and upgrading it to the divine quality gives it a more golden look with the red cloak more prominently featured. I totally dig this one. The Fire Giant set is also found in Wealth Chest, as noted again in the item description. This one looks decent, especially when rocking the hood with the lava effects. The cape is a bit burned as well. And yeah, I do think it looks even better when upgrading it. And yes, Odin is rocking the new beard option here. You can get this in the arena, where you also find the new hairstyles. And it's nice that we got a tattoo shop in Svartafam over here on the map, so you can immediately use these new cosmetic options. I think the beard is pretty awesome, it really fits that high one description. And you also see the new hairstyle here, which you can get in multiple colors, and I do think it looks pretty cool on female hobby as well. And yeah, maybe you already noticed it, there are also some really cool new tattoos you can get in Dawn of Ragnarok. To get them, we have to look for these special artifact icons. We luckily do not have to chase flying papers anymore in this DLC. Just go to their location and you get the cosmetic design. And also the bows you find, as noted with a scroll icon on the map, have to be applied in the arena, which will then also unlock more tattoos. The Olvheim set is totally my favorite one, thanks to the amazing head tattoo, but you also find other tattoos all inspired by one of the Norse realms. But just like in other parts of the game, the tattoo rewards are random, so I sadly cannot say, hey, go here for this specific set. Just do all the artifacts in Svartafam and complete the bows in the arena to unlock each set. And another artifact icon gives you uncut gems, which you then have to give to a gemstone collector you also find in a dwarven shelter, the one over here on the map. And every time you're able to give gemstones, you get a new settlement item, which you can then use in Ravenstore. Like the awesome dwarven statue we also find in Svartafam, and you will overall see that these settlement items are just assets we also find in this new realm. Like you also unlock the monoliths, where you can loot the embers for in your settlement, or the Yggdrasil Shrine, where you can exchange hell for Hooger. Of course not in England, but yeah, that's of course the purpose in Svartafam. And the final reward is the Svartafam tree, which isn't that special, although I do like that it adds some Hooger blooms to your settlement, which is kind of cool. Now let's go back to the actual Svartafam, because this is of course where you can get that awesome mount we saw in a lot of pre-launch material. It's massive, and I totally dig it way more than I anticipated. And I also like that it's not just a reward from one of the first main story missions, but that you have to do a special mystery for it, which you find over here on the map. Here you namely find a frost giant on the mount, so we basically want to take him out and then claim the mount for ourselves, which you can then of course also use in other regions of the game. A secret weapon you can miss is a wooden stick. You find that one over here on the map on a bridge near a bench. Yes, I already showcased it in my previous video, but I still wanted to include it here because I'm talking about more secrets in this DLC. there is no icon also indicating that there is something here, so totally check it out. Now, I've only mentioned it before, it's a really bad weapon, but I do like using it. It is kind of fun. And the best part is you can transmog it over any other one-handed sword in the game, so you can also go for the wooden stick dual-wield combo, which is kind of nice. And of course, if you found cool things in Dawn of Ragnarok, let me know by the input@jolle.com email address or in the comments under this video. Now, of course, every DLC also adds new treasure, so you can also go indicating that there is some. Find that one over here on the map on a bridge near a bench. Yes, I already showcased it in my previous video, but I still wanted to include it here because I'm talking about more secrets in this DLC. There is no icon also indicating that there is something here, so totally check it out. Now, I've only mentioned it before, it's a really bad weapon, but I do like using it. It is kind of fun. And the best part is you can transmog it over any other one-handed sword in the game, so you can also go for the wooden stick dual-wield combo, which is kind of nice. And of course, if you found cool things in Ragnarok, let me know by the input@jolle.com email address or in the comments under this video. Now, of course, every DLC also adds new treasure maps, so let's go over them because they are a bit different than what we usually see. For one, we namely unlock these by going back to our settlement the first time after going to Svartafam, so basically waking up for the first time. They will get a mission pop up telling you to wait for your friends at the fire, after which you can select stories you want to hear. Now, I found all 4 options immediately, but I do think this links to main story progression, so it's kind of a reward for having finished the Valhalla main game, although I totally expected way more from the items you actually get. So after hearing each story, you get a map in your inventory, and then you can go and find a location in Svartafam. And for Gunner still, we want to go over here on the map in the Gulamar. Go to the spot, then you can interact with the treasure near the candles, and then you get 10 nickel ingots. For the solution on all missions still, we want to go all the way to the top over here on the map, and then you want to fall down at this spot because it kind of looks alike. So falling down here, you will be near a waterfall, and then you find an opal, and next to it you can interact with the treasure for 1,000 iron ore. For run for your treasure, we want to go over here on the map on a small island. Then you find a tent and a fishing net, and they can claim a D250 titanium, and also say hi to a squirrel inside the tent. Hello, squirrel. For the final treasure, we want to go over here to another island.
Is that the squirrel from the story?
Tent and a fishing net, and they can claim a D250 titanium, and also say hi to a squirrel inside the tent. Hello, squirrel. For the final treasure, we want to go over here to another island. You can very easily reach with the Raven power. There are some snakes here, so be careful for them, and they get 1,500 leather. Sure, still nice, but it would have been cooler if we got like a unique reward from these so-called legendary hordes, like a new armor set would have been great. Although of course we already have quite a lot of new armor sets in the Svartafam. We also have the Jotun mantle set inspired by that Frost Giant faction. Upgrading it gives it more of a Jotun flavor, which totally makes it a bit more unique, but I do think that is the least exciting armor set in the DLC. It also takes quite a long time to get. You need to complete all the blue dwarven icons, followed by the wolf icons, which will then appear, and I will leave a link to a video with all the locations in the video description. And its armor is also needed for a brand new weapon, which I discussed in that same video where I mentioned the wooden stick, and I will leave a link to that at the end of this one. That is also where I touch on most of the new weapons that have some really fun perks, and my favorite new armor period, the Raidmar Blessed set, which starts out as the curse set you get in this shelter. It only looks cool if you like a more worn out, broken look, although I think we can both agree that the Blessed variant takes the crown. But don't go watch the previous video where I also talk about the perks of this set and the other best items you can get in the DLC. You can watch the video by clicking on the screen. A like on this video would really help me out, and totally subscribe for way more Valhalla content if you haven't already. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.
Well. Well. No. Jos tässä ei sit muuta ollut, niin I guess I'll go off stream and do the things whenever I want to do them. Joten siihen asti. Toivotaan, että tulee enempää DLC, mutta todennäköisesti tulee Fuck My Life, mutta sellaista se joskus ei ollut 40 arvoinen tämä runkkari, ei ollut, ei. Anyway, ensi kertaan. Mitä vittua mä teen, I don't know.